Yeah,
Will you
yeah,
take over?
yes. Okay, recording started as I see. Hi, everyone. It's nice to see all of you again. And we would like to continue the last session, which was about Tableau by Donna Bell. And we got a lot of questions about Power BI and Tableau. And so we will continue today and also continue with the series of introducing brilliant family members. And I have two guest presenters for today. Surprise, surprise. Two brilliant ladies, Ayushi and Kavya. They will present about Power BI and Tableau. And why they do that? Because basically I just get to know them through this community. So the starting point was that. And we got connected via LinkedIn, and Ayushi joined the sessions, I think, more time.
Yeah.
It is the first time for Kavya. But on LinkedIn, I just noticed that both of them parallel, they were just posting awesome dashboards. And I said that it is really mind blowing. So they should really show to the community how they do that. And that's why we planned the first session with Donna Bell. It is a more theoretical and a little bit to the basics. But with Ayushi and Kavya, we planned a more practical approach that how do they use these tools for storytelling and data visualization. So I would like them to introduce them one by one. And if I can ask, please also let us know what is your link to the tools. So which tool or both tools. And so just to have a background, how it started with you. And then let's see. I'm also very excited. We had some pre-discussion how this will run, but I'm also excited how it will be. So
Indeed, we are very excited as well. Yeah. So, Kavya, should I go or you will go?
Please not.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. Glad to be here. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Magdi, for having us here. It's really big honor for me. So yeah, I'll just share my screen. Yeah, so basically, today we will be talking about bringing data to life. We have a ton of data. We have like data expanding at rapid pace. We are gathering data continuously every second. So today we'll be talking about it. That how can we visualize it in front of our stakeholders in a very effective way. So yeah. So who am I? So I am currently working as a data analyst, and little bit about my background. I'm a BTech graduate with majors in electrical and electronics engineering. So yeah, and with my passion towards data visualization, when I was in college in my second year, I was pretty much exploring data science. Too much, like I was doing everything I could, and I was caught towards exploratory data analysis, and it was interesting, but I was getting stuck up with Python coding, and it was taking a lot of time to do data visualization. So with respect to that, I found out that there are tools, Tableau and Power BI, that can make our life easier. So I started exploring that after that. And fun fact about me, that till second year of my college, I wanted to be an electrical engineer just like my father. And till now I've done around 14 internships. Yeah, let's move ahead. So what exactly is data visualization? Data visualization gives us a clear idea of what information is giving us with the visual context through maps and graphs, making it pretty easy for human brain to comprehend and understand, and to identify the patterns, trends, and outliers with the large data set. So, importance of data visualization. Analyzing the data. Analyzing the data is the basic step. It helps us delivering the data in easy and efficient way possible. Faster decision making. It is pretty obvious if we see visuals of the data that we are using, it will be very efficient for us to analyze and identify the patterns, hidden patterns in our data. Making sense out of complicated data, that is no big deal. Like obviously how like whatever data we see, it's never easy. So it becomes easier for us to identify the metrics that are really important for our business statements, and keeping those metrics in mind, we can plot charts out of them. We can just make if it is not even clear at that point, we can just do trial and error, that what is making sense to actually find the hidden trends in our data. Trend over time is a really good way to identify like what exactly is happening with our business, which season is good, doing good for our business. Okay, so in that sense, trend over time analysis really helps us a lot to identify the monthly, weekly, yearly, quarterly trends. It's good. Examining the market, that is the major thing. So to for example, let's just take example like suppose we are looking at the sales data. We want to know that how is our business going. If the market is going up, are our sales going high, are our sales going down? So it is important for us as a business to keep an eye on our market. And if we are doing the previous step, that is examining the market, then we will be on a step to check like what are the necessary actions to react to the current state of our business. Like are the sales going up, are the sales going down, what needs to be promoted more, what needs to be bashed out, and what new it should be opt out to enhance our business progress. So moving on, key to a good data visualization. Understand your data. Understand your data. Just worship your data. Dig deep to your data. Just deep dive. Observe. Absorb your data as much as you can. Your raw data, and identify the key metrics that are that reflects to your business requirements, and ask the right questions. Insights from your data, like just setting the right metrics as per, and setting the relevant metrics, like suppose say like time analysis. What should be show against time analysis, whether it should be a category, whether it should be country, what should be there, that is setting relevant matrices. Types of data and its usefulness. Understand the type of the data. You should have to start visualization. Like by saying type of the data, I mean, is it quantitative, it is qualitative, or the data is big or small? So by analyzing that, we can choose the right chart accordingly. So it will be better for us to communicate to through our charts with our audience. And last but not the least, who is your audience? Audience is foremost important. So what impact will your data have? That depends completely on your audience. What are their requirements? By asking them their like at the first step, they have told us their requirements, but also we need to know that how much in depth they have knowledge about the requirements. Do they know every KPIs, every metrics that we are presenting, or do we need to express, or we or do we need to explain even further? So yeah, and just keep in mind, we should always keep in mind that are we making sense or not with the matrices that we are presenting? Is it relevant to them or not? Yeah. So yeah, let's move to the dashboard. So this is the dashboard that I prepared for today's session. So yeah, let's go to the Power BI and I will explain that. So basic question.
Yes.
Okay, so should I go like
No.
no? Okay, okay. So should I start from the very beginning, how to get data, or just explain the dashboard?
It could be good to explain it because it is different from Tableau. So I think it's good to explain it to the audience.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
I think absolutely agree.
Okay. So yeah, basically today we are presenting the sales overview dashboard. So as the word overview, we are just presenting the overview of everything like sales, segment, city, subcategory, category, and region wise, the overview of the business. So we have got the data, and now we have to identify what are the key numbers that our business stakeholders want to know. That is obviously, like all of you know, it will be sales and profit since it's the sales dashboard. So yeah, I have kept the KPIs as such, and then I have added one more KPI that might be important, like orders written, and then I have used filters to which we will come at the end. So I have made certain charts that is like as we all know, even in the last session, Donna Bell said that it is good to have a time series chart to show the trend. So yeah, it is really good to have time series chart since I wanted to show the trend, the yearly trend of the profit and sales, and even I wanted to show the relationship between them. That's why I have used the combinational chart, so I can show two matrices at a time. And coming to the second chart, that is sales by region, I just wanted to highlight the sales trend of the region. Then coming to the third one, that is shipping status. So I have used a pie chart here. I know many of people hate using pie chart. Even I am one of them. But I have used it here just because there were only 3 KPIs. That's why I have used it here. Yeah. Then moving further, sales by city and segment. So by segment, we have actually 3 segments that it is a consumer segment or corporate or home office that was provided in the data. The data is simple superstore data. So yeah, most of you have already known that. That's why I've used the stacked bar chart, and yeah, so I've shown the distribution of the city-wise distribution. And now coming towards the last one, that is profit by subcategory. So I just wanted to show the trend that which subcategory is doing well. Since the data is very large, that's why I've used the simple bar chart, because it's obviously very easy to understand the bar chart. That's why. Now coming towards the filters. So this is the overview dashboard. But if you want to take a deep dive towards the categorical analysis, it is very easy. We can just select one category here, and the whole dashboard will change accordingly. So we can also take a rough look at the categorical analysis.
Sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing on Power BI itself? Because if you are, we're not seeing that. Yeah, we're not seeing that screen, or at least I'm not.
Correct. We're seeing a
I-
PowerPoint screen.
I think we are still at the dashboard, and that's why, right?
Okay.
In the
I
PowerPoint.
got it. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Are you able to see the Power BI screen?
Perfect.
Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, so yeah, I've changed the filter here. I've changed it to the furniture category. And yes, let's just take office supplies. Then the whole dashboard will change accordingly. Now we are doing a categorical analysis as well. So we can identify like which subcategory is doing well and what was the shipping status, which region is doing better, and what are the sales and profit trends going on, and the city-wise analysis as well, like where are our sales higher. Yeah, and also I have kept a region filter as well, and here we have the date filter as well. So right now it is fixed on 2016 to 2019. We can also alter that according to our needs. So let's just take it from 2017 to 2019. It will change. Yeah. So Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was all my presentation actually. Yeah, please let me know if you have any questions.
I think Jonathan just asked if you can show how you upload the data, because it's different in Power BI
yeah,
and
sure.
Tableau.
So we'll just go to get data, and then we have some data, common data sources. And also if you're using Redshift or anything further, you can just go to more. Yeah, it's coming. It's pretty slow. Yeah, so here you can just type out if we need something like Redshift, it will show. Then here by going there, we can connect the data using the server requirements. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Oh, sorry, I already knew it was just for the rest of the audience.
Oh,
But
okay.
I do have a follow-up question, Magdi.
I saw your hand. So then go ahead, Jonathan, please.
Thank you. So when we look at the time series, and we see here already that you got 2016, 17, 18, and 19. So you got the category of the years going across. When would you prefer what you're showing now over a facet? So you then show your line graph over, so each year would be one of the facets, and then you have your line showing there. When would you choose to show that level on a month by month basis, and then group by year? So then you get 4 facets, and then you have your drill down visible with months year by year. So that's yeah, the first question actually.
Actually, I didn't get your question.
So we're showing here your trend over each year, but you could actually show trend over each year, but in a facet. So then, and in that facet, you could show it by month, but it would still be the top hierarchy by year. So in effect, you get 4 line graphs straight away.
Right. Yeah. Something like this, are you saying?
No, sorry.
No. Okay.
Ayushi, you have to change the graphical
Yeah, you have,
presentation.
so it's kind of like
Combine two
each,
line, right? He's saying each line for a line for each year. We need to have tiers
but
and y-axis.
yeah, but it's not purely on the line showing 4 lines for each year. I'll have to show an example, but it's when to choose that type of example. Let me see if I can find one, and then I can share it. But go ahead, everybody else.
Then Manfred was about to ask something.
Yeah, it's such a great presentation. My question was, Ayushi, how do you decide which data points to show, which would make a difference, and how do you decide to choose the graphs according to data? Like, how do you choose that the business person who is sitting at other end understands what your data wants to speak about it through
So
visualization?
yeah, to be honest, it is never easy to identify what they exactly want to see. So, if, like, for example, if you just want to show the yearly trend, then obviously go ahead for the line chart or the bar chart. Okay. And if you want to show the categorical, trend, then you can go ahead for the stack bar chart or bar charts. Even if you want to dig deeper, you can use stream apps for that as well, if you want to combine certain things. And if you have a very small amount, if you have just for example, if you just have 3 categories, okay, and your data is segmented on that, so you can just use simple as that pie chart for that, or even stacked bar chart. 100% stacked bar chart is also fine for that. If you want to show the geographical distribution, obviously you should go ahead for the map.
Oh, so it all comes with experiment. So, but I meant to ask is what is your go-to way to see the data and choose the visualization? How
Actually,
do
when I
you
first get,
see the
Hmm?
data?
Okay, I got it. Yeah, so basically when I first get the data now, I will just go to the data and I will just try to understand like what exactly are my business stakeholders questions and what are the relevant column names that I should be presenting. So that is my go-to way. Then just take a pencil and a paper and draw it out.
Yeah, thanks. That helps.
Yeah, sure.
As a data analyst, I would like to link my question to Manpreet's question, because I had something similar, that how you approach your audience, because you mentioned it is very important. My question is, as a data analyst, what is your experience? Do you get questions from your stakeholders, or it is really up to you what you would like to see in the data set and what you want to show in the data set, or what you want to analyze in the data set and then show it to your audience? How it is according to your experience, working experience?
Yeah, so according to my working experience, I get the combination of both that you mentioned. Either they will give me the statement or either they will ask me that what exactly do they want to see. And obviously, you also know that no matter what dashboard we present, it is never enough. They always want to see some enhancements in that. They always want to keep changing the KPIs. It's never enough.
Can I add something here? Because when we are talking about the audience, it's, let's say, endless battle, endless conflict between the data analyst and the stakeholders. So first of all, we have the simple stakeholders that they need to see something and then they will suggest how to enhance. I can say right now what Jonathan did right immediately, that he finds something, you perform something, and he suggests how to enhance it. This is, by the way, it's typical stakeholder behavior, Jonathan. The second behavior that's expected is they don't really know what is their situation, and they are surprised by that. Now, what is the solution? There is no silver bullet about this. There is no solution for that. But part of this battle or of this conflict is to collect the requirement from their side. Try to collect as much requirement as you can. And then will give you a better idea about what you are going to show. That means we have two wings here, the requirement from the stakeholders and that what data is telling you, understanding the data. They are the same importance. You cannot ignore one and focus on the other one. So how to do that? Maybe you can go step by step, show something and then get the feedback and keep in touch, let's say intensive connection with the stakeholders, or depending on the project nature, you can go and collect all the requirements and make it as a contract if you are outside company for something or something. Now, I'm not answering Ayushi. I'm just telling you how I see it. I think this question is you cannot answer. I think it's depending on each project, but there is shared behavior for all the stakeholders. It's, let's say, they are the problem makers, but we can understand why, because they have problems. They need something to solve or to enhance their performance. This is my comment about this question, starting from Jonathan, Manpreet to Magdi.
I completely agree with you, actually, guys.
Thanks, guys. Jonathan has the example he mentioned. So, Jonathan, it's your turn. And if you would like to share your screen, just let us know, and I think you guys can help. Yeah, it's working. But
Okay.
you are mute. We cannot hear you, Jonathan. Jonathan, you are mute still.
Okay, sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. So here we got two line graphs, right? So it's showing the categorical data, so it's in this way, and we're showing the trend over the years. So this is the line graph showing each line as a category, showing each category in the line, and then we have the same, but we've now used a facet. So when would you use one over the other? But I think Guy may have answered that. It may be depending on your audience, but the share with this, you can actually show a bit more deep. Yeah, what would be better for the audience in this way, and how would you choose between the both of them?
So from my side, I would say that the first chart that you're presenting, in which there are all the categories, so that would be good if you just want to show the overview. If your audience just want the overview, and if they want to dig deeper, then you can go ahead for the second option that you are showing. It is also very good if they want to go deeper. Yeah, definitely we can do that as well.
So Jonathan, the facets is like zooming out, right? So that is the purpose, that you just take one by one the lines, basically, right? Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, so it shows the same, and you can actually on the facet probably have a bit more detail, but it's just, you know, when would you show one over the other, or again, would it just be down on the audience that you're presenting to?
Yeah, it completely depends how deeper they want to go.
Okay, good. Anything to add, Jonathan, from your side?
No, it's good, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Then Ashish would like to ask something.
Hi. So first of all, the presentation was very informative and well deserved. Well delivered. I'm sorry. So I had two questions. I think the first of them was answered by Jonathan as well. That when there is a dilemma between which one to select, how do you select which one to show, which chart to showcase? So I think that was answered by Jonathan. The second one is regarding the Power BI tool. So how does the Power BI tool allow us to configure or connect to any server hosted database or any APIs where we can get the data from?
So to answer that, till now I've not worked with the APIs. I've just worked with the database. So yeah, most of the database are available in that. And yes, you can connect to any server if it permits. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Tom, it's your turn.
Yeah, just a thought I wanted to share. And this is the fun that Gaith and I like to have with integrating brilliance. So you look at the brilliance of control system design, feedback control. And as you study feedback control systems, you learn that if you don't get frequent enough feedback, your system can go unstable. Now, how does that relate to this? We're having a little chat on the side here. Manpreet was asking, how do you know what to share? Well, it's because you've become friends with your domain experts and your stakeholders. You've learned what they care about, what they're worried about, what keeps them up at night. So you're focusing on things that answer their concerns, but you're not waiting for some formal meeting to present this. You get on an informal call or you send them a little message just saying, hey, I'm still working, but this is what I've got. Do you like the direction it's going? I'm planning to add these things. What else would you like to see? You do that frequently, getting that frequent feedback on how you're developing your dashboard, how you're developing your story, so that you already know by the time you present it formally, it's meeting their needs. That way, if you're doing a presentation and you get those stickler questions, your stakeholder's going to interject and defend what you've done because you've been, and your domain experts, because you've been checking in with them frequently getting their feedback along the way, building up to the final product. By the way, this is already a brilliance that's integrated with successful startups. And make no mistake, as data specialists, we are small businesses. We're entrepreneurs. We're peddling our data stories. And it's important that the most successful startup methodologies today were born from Steve Blank out of Stanford. And he has this spirit of customer-centric development where, guess what? You get frequent feedback from your customers during your development cycles so that when you finally release your product, you weren't just designing something you hoped the public would buy. You've been designing something the public is giving you feedback on that they want to buy. I hope that helped.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, definitely. Kim, you also would like to add something?
Actually, I wanted to ask a question. Ayushi, thanks very much for introducing us to the Power BI side of things. Great job. And I wanted to ask on behalf of everyone, because I've been learning both Tableau and Power BI, and I have noticed that for me, Tableau seems a little easier. And I am wondering if that is a general consensus, if people feel like Tableau is more facile, or if it's something that it really just depends on getting used to it. Thanks.
Yeah, it's because you're getting used to it. Even Power BI is the same. You will build same formulas. Some of the functions are different, but it's all ultimately drag and drop, and it's easy. Both are equally easy. I hope that answers.
Oh, I can step in there as well, Kimberly. Yeah, so I use Power BI for my work, and just been doing some Coursera courses for visualization as well that's using Tableau. And yes, the drag and drop feature is great. And yeah, you've got to adapt to the tool. And they're from my experience, they both offer excellent ways or excellent end results, but how you get there is slightly different. I like the BI because you're using the formulas that you can put in with DAX aren't too different from what you use in Excel. And with what I've found with Power BI, I find it a lot more responsive, or the setup is, for me, is a lot easier because you can create on your canvas already. You can create your an end result on one canvas directly, whereas with Tableau, you're creating your sheets and then you come into your end and then you pull in everything at the end. So it really depends how it feels to you. So that's the thing that I like Power BI over Tableau myself, is that everything's direct on your canvas straight from the start, whereas with Tableau you're building up the different sheets and then bringing your story together at the end. So yeah, it's personal preference on that. And then the other advantages is loading in your data. You have the you're using the what's it called, the Power Pivot, and then you can, and that's the same throughout all the MS suites, Excel, Power BI. So you have that, and there you can do a lot of EDA itself with straight analysis. And because you're already familiar with a lot of things from other Power Query, thank you. Then yeah, because it's quite native to MS, then you already have a lot of experience on how to use it anyway. So that's the advantage if you have a lot of MS experience. But yeah, they're both brilliant tools, and just go with one that you're comfortable working with.
Great, thanks.
I would like to add one thing, that at work I was trying to build network graph, and it took me tons of time to build it on Tableau, and Power BI has more graph options than Tableau. That's why I felt more good for Power BI than in Tableau.
I'm curious what Ayushi is saying. about this, and then I would jump to Kavya. Because they both using both tools, so I'm curious. What is your take?
I'm curious what Donabel will say.
Donabel is not here yet, right?
Jonathan, with the DAX being similar to Excel, yeah, that is really good feature actually. Makes DAX easier to understand. Yeah. So yeah, thank
What?
you so much for this opportunity. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Ayushi. Why I'm asking about Donabel, because we are listening to many Power BI users. So Donabel, she has to answer in this case.
Yeah, she couldn't join this meeting today due to family
Real
reasons.
quick, I forgot to say this earlier. Ayushi, great job. Thanks for fielding all these questions, great. But just a thought, I think it's what you start with is easier because that's what you started with. And then you try to switch. It's like starting completely over maybe, but I think too, which community you find the most help from. Too, I can tell y'all, I've only used Power BI learning it in a class, and it was easy to learn. I'll just say that. But seems like people that start with Tableau love Tableau. People that start with Power BI love Power BI. I think it's just maybe more what you start with.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tom. Thank you so much, Magdi.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. It was really
Thank you
nice.
so much for the opportunity.
It's well done, well done. Kavya, then your turn. First, if you can share your idea of Power BI or Tableau, what is the advantage for you using one or the other? What is your experience?
The funny part is I use Power BI at work, and I'm presenting Tableau here because I usually was comfortable with Power BI. So Power BI for me is like a bit better than Tableau because I've been connected with people in Tableau community, so I've seen their work. The kind of whizzes these people bring out. At times, it's like, oh my god, too much pressure to even sustain that level. The Twitter community and the LinkedIn community, it's amazing. It's amazing. So after the last session of Donable, I am super nervous what I'm going to do today with Tableau. I'm clueless. And Ayushi gave an amazing presentation. Ayushi, well done. So I am basically from statistics background. I did my BSc on statistics, and now I am working at EY as Power BI developer, data analysis, and I handle clients for developing the data. So finally, I'm getting back to Tableau though, but I'm so sorry if I'm a bit less because I can see experts sitting here. I am clueless what I'm going to do, but yes, I'm going to show the interactivity of Tableau, how things work with Tableau. Do let me know, please, when you can see my screen. So I made this small presentation of Tableau. So this is like, what is Tableau? Tableau can be used as an unpaid version or the paid version. You can get the desktop version, and the Tableau Public has a version that you can download and use free or whatever. Students and the mentors get license to Tableau Desktop and they can access it. Else we have Tableau Public to explore and do online stuff. So let's move on to the features of Tableau. Tableau, right now I just said कि I am going to, I'm in favor of Power BI, but now I'm switching my statement in favor of Tableau. So I'm going on with Tableau. Tableau is user friendly. You can go with the storytelling, interactivity, amazing interactivity, and it's IT dependency, publishing online, offline, strong security protocols, and there's just one thing, like suppose I usually used a Superstore dataset, I'm going to use the same Superstore dataset, and you can see how one similar data can be presented in lot many ways and telling the same story. exactly same story, just the difference in presentation. So I'm just switching directly to the presentation. So this was a simple sample data set that I created of a Superstore data set that can be, obviously, we can add filters, we can add years, and as Jonathan said, we can have, for time series, we can have 4 graphs on the y-axis and present data as and when we want. The KPIs can change and the presentation can change. That's completely dependent on us. Similarly, I use the simple graphs, and that's all. So for sales, I've used these can say combined double bar graphs, where the outer bar is showing the sales and the inner bar is showing the profit. Region, I've divided into pie. I know donut charts look good, but making donut chart in Tableau is like a technical graph, and it's not a maiden graph for users. So I've used a simple pie graph for region and sales. Then we have city. For city, I've used a geographic chart to present the city. So again, time series, as I said, it's similar to, yes, Jonathan, please go ahead. What do you want to ask? If I will be able to answer a question, I will.
Oh, I was going to say continue. I just had my hand up ready for when you were finished. That's all.
Oh.
But please continue.
Okay. So this latest version of Tableau, we can get this edit button online. We can edit whatever we want to on our screen itself. So here I have the files, and here I have the story that I was presenting. So I can just give a quick view of how I made a simple graph on Tableau and how I added filters to it. So suppose I am going with, again, a simple, I'm putting salesperson as columns, and I'm going with sales here. So sales in rows. Tableau has this amazing feature. It identifies the best possible graph it can show portray. So it has shown like it's automatically to bar graph or bar suits. Again, I have these filters made. So if we want to add any other filter, suppose I want to add shift mode here, I just have to add shift mode here in the filters bar. I just have to say, okay, I'm selecting all. Okay. And I'm applying it. Okay. So the filter is set. I want to apply it to all my sheets. I just have to click here and apply to worksheets using related data sets. So all my worksheets, it's applied to all my worksheets, though it cannot be shared or you cannot see in this tab dashboard, but I'll make a quick, easy peasy way to just show this up. Okay, I'm dragging and dropping it right to the sheets I have here. Oh, so this is in the tile form. We can always go to floating, so to arrange the data. And I'm not used to this online version. I'm using just to present. I use desktop version, so for the convenience. So here as we have imported this sheet, we can add the sheet to our dashboard, and again, the sheet will be interactive on whatever categories we want to add on. And that's all I'm going to present because I'm already super nervous, going super fast like a bullet train, and I don't know what next. So Jonathan, please go ahead, whatever you want to ask, whatever you want me to show, if I can help.
So again, this is we have the tooltips. We've got tooltips in Tableau, and we have tooltips in Power BI. And in BI, you can do a lot of customization on the tooltip. So like now you're hovering over, in Power BI, there's a function where you can create. So for example, if you hovered now over in that case, was that chairs on that big column. If you hover over chairs on your bar graph on the, All right, so we see that profit with the same tooltips as in BI, but in BI we can create a tooltip page that would show you could then for that tooltip plot a line graph and your yearly sales or monthly sales, and then when they hover over, it will show that line graph, that trend for that particular category that you've now as a tooltip. Is that option available in Tableau as well? Because I'm
right. You're asking a drill down feature. Yes, you can set actions on any bar or in any graph you want to, or you can add. This feature is not there in Power BI. This feature is there in Tableau that you can add one graph on top of the other. Suppose right now I don't have that feature in this particular dashboard. Suppose I hover on this particular bar, we can show that the trend graph of the chair through a particular time span, whatever time span you want to. So we can add one graph as a tooltip on another graph. So that feature is there in Tableau, and we don't have that feature in Power BI. So this information was in
it's so it's the same in both. Then you can do it in both. Cool. That's perfect.
You can go for a drill down and changing the graph, whatever you want to in Tableau as well. So that's all, or anybody that wants to add on something. Like I was expecting lots of learning rather than teach. I want to learn from you people. You people are so amazing. Like last session of Donovan was like superb. So after that, Kim, please.
Thank you. First of all, great presentation. I don't know what you're worried about. You did a great job. And second of all, I was wondering if you have used Einstein in terms of any analysis and how you have found that to work, and any kind of tips and things that you might have learned that are useful for people who are learning now. Thank you.
With respect to time span, okay, so I'll share my work experience with you people. So as I work as a developer, so I get data, and I work as UI UX expert as well at my organization. So what we do is the client comes to us and with a set of KPIs that suppose this is the time span, and if I'm talking about particular recruitment data, so they say we want to know the number of candidates recruited at a particular time span. So this can be visualized in two ways. We can go by categorical way, that the number of people recruited in a time span with respect to what all a business in the XYZ they are from. Or so, Jonathan, you were saying something. I mean, please, you can jump in and help me out with answering this question.
Sorry, I missed it fully there. I got distracted by the chat. Sorry, apologies.
Oh, okay. So, with the time span, again, so we can get the best way of visualization for a time span is a line graph or a wavy or a curvy graph, whatever you want to. In Tableau as well as Power BI, we get lots of features of using lots of different graphs. So that's, I don't know, I think I'm lost somewhere in the question, but I think I answered it with whatever respect. I can see Seema, you want to say something, you want to add on?
Yes, actually, I have two questions. First one is, if you're an absolute beginner, which tool you should choose, like Power BI or Tableau? And the second one is, how much time it takes for you to create this dashboard? Of course, when we're just starting to learn about data visualization or like stepping into data analytics, it takes time. But I want to know what is the improvement rate? Like, do you get better fast, or how this process works?
I understood your question, Seema. So for me, if I talk about myself, how I started with visualization, I started with basic graphs, plotting basic graphs and understanding the graphs through Excel. And I feel that's the best way if you want to just start and learn things, because you have data here and graphs here. So it's like things going side by side. So start with Excel, learn how to use, where to use which graph, and then you can shift to whichever tool you want to. I'm not a risk. I'll not say Tableau is better than Power BI or Power BI because I'm working with both of these things. On LinkedIn, I post for Tableau related work, and on work, I work with Power BI. So if you want to go with the simpler version, because Tableau have few technical things, and you can go with Power BI. Power BI do have, if you go with the DAX functions and another few things to add on. But gradually, trust me, my first dashboard, a good looking dashboard, took around a week. I used to get scolding that this is not looking good, rejected. My dashboard got rejected like 8 times, and it takes efforts to make even one dashboard, but one version. So that happened gradually, and the product that you're seeing on the screen right now is the product of an hour. So you can see a transition from going by weeks, getting rejected on your UI UX, your presentations, your whatever you have there on the screen, and then coming back to an hour or two, whatever it takes. Yes, if you're not going with the functions, it will not take much with the basic visualization. I think I've answered your question
Yes, thank you so much.
in time. So, are we good to go?
I have a general question. So if you can say 3 things why you like Tableau and 3 things why you like Power BI, what would be this one? And I will ask the same from Ayushi then.
Okay, I can answer this again. So I'll first start with 3 things why I like Power BI. So Power BI for me is like I have data loaded, and things goes. I don't know why I feel this, but things goes on more frequently or more quickly with Power BI than it goes with on Tableau. For me, if we want to change visualization, plus the number of basic charts, the custom not non-custom charts we have in Power BI are more, and we have to develop less charts as compared to Tableau. For Tableau, as I said, we even want to develop a donut chart. That's not there in the custom charts. We have to make that chart using a few. That's a bit that's not even complicated though, but that's a bit more effort. But in Power BI, that's there. The graphs are made. You just have to click and go, and things are there. So that's I think that is a major thing what makes me go bit more towards Power BI than Tableau. So I don't know what 2 other things would be because I don't want to go. But yes, again, Tableau, I like Tableau, trust me, because of the community, Tableau community that's there. Tableau community is so pressing, so pushing, and I am super obliged to be part of such amazing people who just keep on saying it's okay. Because right now you can see there's this iron whiz going on. Lots of posts coming up, amazing posts, amazing posts, amazing entries coming up. So it's like, oh my god, wow. So Tableau is, it's beyond me, a bit beyond me. Maybe that's why I'm not able to speak much about Tableau. But yes, I'm a bit tilted towards Power BI. I think Ayushi can answer. Ayushi, you want to add?
So basically, what I love about, actually, I am a Power BI lover. I just can't think anything about like apart from that. So first thing that, and second thing, the DAX I find pretty easy as compared to what I learned in Tableau. That's one thing. And the second thing is that the variety of charts. Oh my God, it's so good. It's like peace to my eyes when I can play with charts. So yeah, those were my 3 points. And with respect to Tableau, that what I love about it is the community, which is not there for the Power BI. No matter what I post, it won't get pop up because of the Tableau community already leading everything. So yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
Apart from that, yeah, I have not much explored Tableau. So yeah, I only have one part for that.
Tableau have lots of competitions as well coming up for people to take in part in, and popping up. I think Power BI community should do something, I am personally thinking to start a trend, something to just push people up with Power BI.
Yeah,
Let's
I
see
just
how.
I just wanted to say the same, that maybe it's your turn to initiate something and build the community behind Power BI, maybe in the local basis and then bigger and bigger. So there is because there is a need for that, for sure. Yeah, the community behind Tableau, it is really strong, and it's really an inspiring thing. I think so. When, for example, when you are a beginner with Tableau and you join the Tableau user group in your location, I mean, at the first time I was really shy. That okay, I just listen. I don't want to say anything. But it was so open, the community, that that it was so easy to link to people and get connected to people and discuss their views, for example, and then I got so inspired seeing their views that okay, I said I have to do something. I also have to start something, because till that time I had my theory and yeah, it is beautiful and so on, but the practical approach was missing. And it's really pushing you that you want to create also something, and they are kind of behind you, and you can always ask them, and what do you think, and how should I do, and so on. So it is really powerful, the community behind, and it does, and it is a pity that it is not built behind Power BI yet, but maybe this is a moment to do something about it. Okay, Jonathan was waiting to add something to this.
Yeah, just going back to what you should choose, Power BI at Tableau. Try both, see which one you get comfortable with, and go from there. That you know, just take the same data set and try to create something with that same data set in both, and whichever one you're comfortable with, go with that. Because that's the best way for yourself. There are some advantages and disadvantages of some, and the one thing learning Tableau, and this is one thing I really love about the Tableau point, although it's limited in graphs, what I love when you have in your graphs, choose which visual you're going to choose, it always tells you how many dimensions and how many measures, if it should be a measure or categorical, it tells you what you should have to be able to put that graph together, that visual together. Whereas in Power BI, you can throw anything at it. And then it's a matter of mix and play, but definitely try both, see what you're happy with, see what you're comfortable with, and take it from there.
Yeah, exactly. Guy, you also wanted to add something?
Yes, I have a question to Jonathan, Ayushi, Kavya, and Hugo. Anybody can answer this question. It's okay for me. The question is, according to the chat, Tableau and Power BI are integrated with Python and even with Jupyter Notebook. I want to understand what is the meaning of integrated here, which level of integration. For example, one example, we have a dashboard and we are going to visualize it on Python, or we are able to change the visualization from Python. This is my question. And I asked this question for a reason, but after the answer, it will be better to comment, not now.
Yeah, who would like to start to answer it? Jonathan?
Yeah, so you can actually do your visualizations and have it interactive within BI. You can actually start plotting. You can plot in your libraries, pandas, group all your data, and plot it. It's as if you was plotting something Matplotlib. You can actually plot and get nicer graphs within Power BI, both Python and R.
Okay, sorry, Guy, can I add something? Guy,
sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, should I go ahead?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So this is how it works. I don't know if I can share my screen. I am not one of the hosts, but let me just share. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, I can.
Okay.
Great. All right. So this was one of the latest announcements for the Power BI addition to Jupyter Notebooks. So basically, this is how it works. If you look at this, you'd see that I'm trying to zoom this in. Let me just zoom this in. I don't know why it's not okay. Is it better now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So what is happening now is that the same way you import libraries into you import your Matplotlib and you import your Plotly, it's the same way you import this Power BI reporting library. So what it does is that it allows you to call a dashboard or whatever it is you have finished preparing, and then you bring it into notebooks. And from here, you can now start manipulating the notebooks, like the way you can say you can now start manipulating the various elements of the notebook, just like we referred to a Matplotlib, fig.ax, ax.this, ax.that. It allows you a lot more flexibility to do what you want to do and then proceed from there. But like I said, the moment they brought this into Power BI, into notebooks, I now started wondering, what is now the benefit of Power BI as against Seaborn and Co? Because for those of us who have gotten used to Matplotlib, Seaborn and Plotly and Co on notebooks, bringing in Power BI feels a bit strange, but we're still trying to get used to it anyways. So, but it's something that they just announced recently. I don't think it has gone full GA, like general availability yet. I think it's still in the beta testing mode or something. But if it's fully available now, I don't know.
Yeah. So you go. So this is the newer edition.
Yes.
The older edition is using the Pi and R icons within already in Power BI for some times, and those are so like you have your graph selector, you can do an R or Pi selector or Python selector, and you can then do your coding. I've got there's the link in the chat, guys. You can also check that.
Yes, amazing.
So that is already in there. It's not nothing too new, and you can go directly call your libraries and plot. So the notebook is a newer addition to it, but the graphing on R and Python has been in Power BI for some time already.
Okay, thank you. My comment is the following, because I know that it will be like this, especially for the latest announcement, the latest version. For me, at the end, the dashboard, it's kind of graphical user interface somehow. Sure, it has some special considerations for the data and how to provide the data, but at the end, it's like this. So I'm not surprised to be integrated with Jupyter Notebook or Python in general. My point is the following: since we have this and we have other also plotting tools and other dashboard tools and other programming languages, again, it's what Jonathan and what Ayushi, what everyone said, it's correct, but to have it on one way, that what you need, what you are better with, what's easier for you, not in general, it's important. This is the first. The second, we are in this era, we don't care about what is the best tool, because most of the tools, they are improving quickly and they are able to help you. The most important is your audience, your analysis work, your understanding about the data, and then use the tool that it will be faster for you, it will be better for you, no problem about that. This is my my suggestion. Why I'm saying that? Because one day, even if you get used for and you are mastering one of these tools, you find for any reason you are forced to change and to move to another tool according to the work requirement, to new job requirement or something. So if we keep this mentality that we are tool agnostic, we are able to learn, we are able to understand, it will be better because we might move between the tools.
Yeah, fully agree with you, Kath. I think that this session, the purpose of this session was just to show different tools in practice, basically. And as Jonathan said, that it is really individual decision that which one you want to use, to a certain extent individual, I would say, because it depends on your company you are working for. So what they want to have. If they want to go with Python or R, then you have to adopt to that one, that request. But if, as Kavya said, that yeah, she is posting dashboards with Tableau, but she is a Power BI engineer now at Ernst & Young. So it's, you never know which tools you have to take out from your pocket. And so it is this session is really not that you have to choose this one or that one. It is really, you have to decide. It is just a chance that you see what it is. Yeah.
Yes, Magdi, I'm very bad person. I forget to thank Ayushi and thank Kavya about their presentation. I enjoy it and I really understand most of the point. I'm not that person who is working on the dashboards a lot, so I have basic ideas about it. I like the presentation really. But why I make this comment, because in the chat it was really hot discussion about it. So that's why I was reading, waiting to speak.
Yes, sure, no issue.
Thank
It's
you.
fine.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, it was really a nice comparison and nice presentation by you, Kavya and Ayushi. So thank you for putting this together and coming to this session as a presenters.
Magdi,
Thank you.
I'm wondering, Magdi,
Yeah.
you know how we have pre-soup time with Dennis when Dennis comes? I'm wondering if we need to have like a special segment for Ngozi, so we make sure we hear from her each time.
Yes. Yeah, Gnosis moment. So, your turn.
Yeah, but I think I should get a reserved section. But I just had to say hello to the family. Sorry I'm late, doing mom things today and just been out and about. But I just wanted to come in and thank you for the presenters, the bit I met. I'll rewatch the whole thing at my own time. But I just wanted to actually support Gayat, because I think for a lot of beginners, they have this whole question, what to? And it's sort of something that, you get that question all the time. What should I learn? What should I learn? But what Garrett is saying is the mindset is very important. You use the tool that is easiest for you. And as you said, Magdi, what the company wants. I work as an independent consultant, and I have to be tool agnostic more or less, because different clients want different things. They use different things. They've already bought different things to use. I'm not a visual specialist, but I get to use whatever tool that the client wants. And anybody coming into the industry should have that mindset, because it sort of will help you learn the tools, and you should be willing to move, switch tools, unless you're a brand ambassador. Yeah, that's all I wanted to contribute. And yeah, thank you, Magdi, for hosting, and thank you for giving me my time. So thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Our pleasure. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. It is a little bit off the topic question from Ankur, but it is an interesting question, and I'm curious how the community thinks about it. The question is that how to stay consistent with one's project and learning. And I'm just curious if you can share any of the tips. How to go on with your learning, how to be consistent with your projects. Anyone can share any experience?
What do you mean about being consistent with your projects?
Ankur, you can...
Is that personal project or personal learning that you're talking about?
Ankur, can you share some details, how you mean it? Anchor is not there. I think it is just a dilemma that you start with something and you may just drop. I guess this is what he means, right?
I will start with one idea.
Okay.
In general, when you are in project or you are in full-time job, you cannot find the time to maintain your learning plan, for example. And this is delay your progress and from maybe technical point of view. But my comment here is you are also getting experience from the work itself. So your learning plan, it's enhanced, or your learning is enhanced, but you are not aware about it. So what is the solution for that? To really watch yourself, what you learn new, what's new happen during your work. Now, when you are in project, the best way to be consistent with this is to learn during the project, to make your project as a part of your learning plan. This is not always possible, but if it's possible, if the company you are working for or if the project itself, it's helping you to do that, it will be great. Now, if it's not possible, I think we still have a time over the 8 hours of work to add 1 or 2 more hours for learning plan. We can do that. And even sometimes it's hard, but we have to find it's for our future, for our enhancement, we have to find time for that. Let's say the learning plan is something personal. It's reflecting to your job directly. It's reflecting to your chances. So for me, it's more important. Now, I don't mean that you have to maintain your learning plan during the working hours, but don't ignore it. This is my tip about it.
If I can add something to it, I think it's important that you have an accountability peer. I think it helps you to keep you on track. So, for example, if you start learning with someone else, or you just join a team with your learning because you get to know people from the same domain who are at the same level, I think it has an extreme powerful possibility that you just keep on and doing it. Or even if it's not a learning peer, but it's a feedback peer kind of person, so that he can, I mean, it can be that person is ahead of you, but it's kind of a mentee-mentor relationship built between two of you, because then you can always come with your questions. You can check if this was done in a nice way or not. You can also refer to him or her. So I feel that either one person or a team or a bigger community can help you to keep you consistent with your studies and learning, or your path, or projects, or yeah. Regarding projects, obviously you can also make team projects, so you don't have to make a solo sport, for example, and that helps a lot. Jonathan, you also wanted to add to this, or?
Yeah, but also in your learning, and also helping you stay consistent, keep small goals, break it down into bite-sized chunks. So when your goal is you've got a goal to do your get a final analysis on whatever you're looking at or whatever you're studying, but take it in bite sizes, because by bringing those goals smaller, you give yourself a sense of achievement and that you're moving forwards. If your goal is longer, as you progress, you're still seeing the goalpost further and further away, even though you are progressing. But by setting goals for yourself in smaller chunk sizes, you're each time you reach that hurdle, reward yourself, take that break, then go to your next goal, but keep it small. So for yourself, you have that sense of moving forwards instead of standing still.
Thank you, Jonathan. Kim?
So that was great points from Jonathan. And I just wanted to add two things. One was something that Dad, I got to use that word, Dad said when I first joined, which was when you're learning, and especially as you are doing things like programming for the first time, always remember to save everything that you're working on and try and go back to it and functionalize it and create better code so that you never have to relearn and redo things that you've done before. And I've actually found that so helpful. And he said in the beginning, create a spreadsheet, make your learning plan and outline each of the different things that you want in your learning plan. So whether it's like you have to learn different aspects of math or different programs, different things that you would have. So I have my whole spreadsheet with all my learnings. And I have my Python and my linear algebra and my calculus and everything that I need to learn in each aspect. And I have these little check marks that I put to myself when I finally feel like, yes, I nailed that. And then the other thing that I would mention is that I have found that I time myself when I'm doing learnings. And then I try and identify for myself what was easy and what was hard. Because I find that when you're learning a new subject, especially if it's something that you haven't had familiarity with in the past, so you don't have anything you can go from in the past to think about how you learn it, I start seeing things that are more difficult for me. And I go, oh, okay, so I have a problem learning this concept. And then I just make a note of that so that when I'm thinking about how I'm learning something, I'm realizing that I'm a certain kind of learner. And so I try and tailor things to that type of learning. So that if, for example, I have trouble with a certain concept, I won't just read about it. I'll read about it and I'll go to YouTube and I'll go to different links and different resources. And then I'll try and read different postings and try and see what people have said about it. And then keep on going back. Like I've had to read some things 20 times because I'm just dumb in some areas, but not in others. So I think being aware of how you learn and tracking what you do is very important. That's all.
This is, thank you, daughter Kim. This is, I'm displaying Tom Overflow, like Stack Overflow, but after a while, these are just a bunch of stupid little coding experiments where I just think, oh, I forgot something. Let me just make sure I know how that works. I'm doing it in isolation outside my main code. And then once I've got the little prototype working on a stupid, simple data set, I pull it in. You can see I've got tons of directories to help me know where I want to go. This was huge. Learning to deal with sparse matrices, big help right there. Learning to develop GloVe, Gantt charts with Plotly, because I couldn't stand going to do them in Excel. Is just tons of things, and I still rely on Stack Overflow a lot, but I just wanted to show you all this. It's huge for just keeping track of it. And some of this sucks, frankly. I don't organize it perfectly, but over time I try to organize it better and better. And the other key thing, remember, Kim, is be gentle with yourself. This stuff is hard. It takes time. It's okay if you struggle, but I like what Jonathan was saying. You take small steps and kind of make yourself feel good for doing a little accomplishment, one at a time. It keeps the flow going better by having little goals and, rewarding yourself. Oh, I can take a break because I got to this little success point. Going on mute.
Yeah, reward is also important, and good points from Kim. So you have to learn. You have to know yourself, what kind of learner you are, what helps you the best, what is the best way to reach. So even you have these chunks, but what is the best way to reach the end of the chunk, for example, and then yeah, reward yourself for the moment, and then go on to the next step, obviously. Ngozi wanted to say something more.
I think Jonathan touched on it, and Tom touched on it as well. I would just emphasize, be kind to yourself. However you learn, be kind to yourself, especially if you're working full time. and you've got a family, maybe you're a woman, you've got children, just be kind to yourself so you don't burn out, because there is that push and drive to learn so much, you sit up till very late, and you end up not achieving a lot as much as you would. Another thing I will add to that is, and Gerd mentioned it earlier, there is a lot of, maybe possibly you're learning a lot from work, or there are new concepts at work as well. So you can also add that on, the time you're learning off work. But I've had situations where the general direction of work wasn't where I wanted to go personally. And I did book out time, talk to my family and say I needed time to learn so that I can move myself into a different direction. But such learning, because it was quite intense, I carved out, most of my weekends was spent doing my learning. But that is something you can do in short bursts. You can do that for years on end. You can't work 5 days a week and learn 2 days of weekend. You don't have any time. And when I mean 2 days of weekend, I meant most of Saturday and half of Sunday, spent learning. So, you should learn to be kind to yourself to avoid burnout. But do find, review where you want to go and find the learning that will get you there. If it's offered as part of your work, take it on. If it's not, make time to learn for yourself, but make sure that in all other learning, there's enough time to look after yourself. That's all I wanted to add.
It's a good point, and I think we can take it from a business point of view, that you just basically create SMART goals for yourself, and SMART means that they are achievable, realistic, timely defined. So you just put it from the business to your own personal achievements or plans, that okay, what can I do within a certain time or time frame, for example, and be realistic with your expectation also towards yourself, and don't be too harsh yourself either. If you do not meet the time limit what you give to yourself, then what? The world will not end. So you can adjust and iterate, basically. If I understand you, Nosy, well, I think this is the kind of an approach, especially as a woman. I also, as I second you, it is really challenging when you have a family and kids, and you want to learn, and you have a full-time job. So then you can end up with sleep deprivation after a while. So be realistic where you want to go and how you want to make it, and be kind to yourself, because you have other needs than learning as well.
Absolutely.
Like physical needs and being with your loved ones and so on, just to get energy as well. Good. Gus, you wanted to say something?
When Kim was saying about having a spreadsheet and taking things on that, and also understand how you learn, I want to share what we use in this the company I work for. Remember, I work for the training company. So in this, we try to meet with every of my learn. In my case, I try to meet with all my learners once a month. So every single month we have a structure. And the first two things we ask them is we call it WWW, which is what went well. So they need to make a self-reflection saying like, this is the best thing about the exercise that I need to complete and the courses I need to complete online and all the documents I need to read. So they make a self-reflection, and then they say that there is another thing we call even better if, which is what they said. We receive feedback from them. They said that they prefer that something could have been in a different way. So, for example, this week I have one session with one of them, and the guy was telling me like, I don't like this kind of like online learning. I prefer to, I mean, I would like to see you coming into my office every time we have to meet, because I don't like this. I think I feel that I learn more. And then talking about the being kind and understanding yourself properly, we use something we call SMART targets, and they stand for a specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, as you said, and then time bound. It's more or less the same, but yeah, we try to set up those things. But yeah, it's from my experience that I have gained so far in 5 months that since I've been in this company. So there are some different kind of learning methods. I mean, I would say again, this guy preferred me to go to his office, and let's say the 70% of my learners prefer online, and sometimes just to ask me to go, or sometimes they prefer to be in a group. Some prefer to go on a one-on-one. There are different learning styles, as well as working styles. So it's to define which one is suitable for you, I think. Yeah. It's really good. What went well, and then even better if. That's how we start our session all the time, and I think is you can emulate it as well with yourself. I mean, I do that as well, as Kim said, like it's like a self-reflection. And then I said, like, for example, I'm still with a course. I started to learn Python like 2 months ago, but I'm going slow. I said, like, I'm going to take my time because, as you say, I need time as well. Imagine like being stuck in my house and not seeing my friend. I'm going to see some friends later. For the first time, I'm going to go out in the last 3 weeks. But I said, like, I learned Python in the morning, a couple of hours, and that's it. I'm not going to be sitting here. But yeah, it's like having a disconnection, the Pomodoro technique, as Kim said the other day. Well, yeah, it's great. Yeah. You mute, Matty.
Just I want to add something, because I like all what you say, but only one thing that's come to my mind. If we are going to learn on plan, and we are working following some kind of plan, and there is some post, I'm not going to say something else, he is managing this plan and changing it. And then even for our personal life and our family life, it's also somehow managed by duty. So I think we turn our life into no fun in our life. Even when we are sleeping, we are sleeping because we have to sleep. So there is only one thing to have a good learning plan. It's to learn what you have a passion for. This way, your learning, it will be your entertaining time. So otherwise, if you don't have passion to your field, to your career field, it's not about data science, it's not about AI, it's in general. If you don't have a passion to your career field, your learning, it will be only in your job, because you don't have the power to do that.
Indeed, so, absolutely.
Yes, this is the only thing that I want to comment. Yes, it's good to have learning plan. It's pushing you to do better, but all of this will work if you have a passion toward what you are learning. Otherwise, if it's all duty. No man or woman, no person is able to stay focused 24 hours. I personally, I need more than 8 hours of losing focus. That means do something that I like. Now I'm happy somehow because yes, I have a passion to this field. So my learning is my entertaining period. But really, it's stressing. It's not something easy to do. So that's why if your learning plan, that's why I said learning plan, it's something personal. It's something related to what you like really, not to it's not related to your job, let's say. And maybe you are like your job, it will be linked to each other, but in general, this is my comment about it.
Yeah, that is true, but somehow isn't it obvious? Because you notice that I mean for me it is obvious, because otherwise either you start to procrastinate or you give it up and you stop with learning. I mean that specific thing, because you don't have the interest of the or the passion. Maybe I'm
Like,
wrong, but for me
no,
it is so obvious that I choose
I
something
think
what I like to learn.
Yes, it's obvious after a while.
Mhm.
Yes, I face this by myself, and I face it by also some young friends. If I'm not that much old to say my sons, but yes, they blame themselves because they are not following the learning plan that they prepared. But at the end, after a while, after 2 or 3 years, they find that because it was the wrong direction for them. It's not obvious from the first minute. It's for, let's say, it's affected by the trends. It's affecting what's happening in the market. There is a lot of things that bending the direction.
But do you mean that this is like a constraint or a pressure on them to pick up on things what they think it is a trend, and that's why they choose it and not because of the passion?
Yes, something like this, exactly. It's not their real direction because it's what is now it's nice, or what's now it has a good income or something. And until they maintain this, they will find that they lose the time for nothing because they wasn't able to follow the learning plan that they prepare, and because they don't like that field. And also, on the other hand, the trend is changed.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. There's a lot of bandwagon effect. People jump on learning things because it's trendy, because the in thing, and not because they really want to learn it, but because people have, people think it's a good way to get a nice job. It's a get out card from whatever it is that they feel, where they feel, people are moving towards. And when it comes to data, there's always a new thing, isn't it? So right now, everybody's, we know what the buzzword, people learn all sorts of technologies, but as you said, passion will drive you and keep you learning whatever it is. Because the learning we're talking about is your self-driven learning path, which is what you want to learn because you want to learn it, not because anybody says you ought to learn it, and not because you want to be in the group of those that learn XYZ. But it's something that is interesting to you. You find it very interesting. It might be off the beaten track, but I think that's where, your focus comes into play. What are you aiming for? And that's for the younger professionals in our group and in other places. Where do you want to end up? And how will you get there? And so when you're talking about steps, and Tom and Kim already said that, when you're talking about those steps you need to take, what's the big goal you're aiming for, and where are you heading to, instead of jumping on any train that is passing that is the thing for now.
Okay, Gus, would you like to say something more, or it just your raised hand remained by accident?
It was, I forgot to put it down.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry. No,
I
it's fine.
think Ngozi also added, so there is no new questions from your side, Ngozi, right?
No, not new question. I just added on to what Gaia already said.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay.
Is my hand still up? Oh.
Yes, yeah, no problem. No issue. I just wanted to make sure that we don't miss anyone.
So sorry about that. Old hand, old woman.
No, not at all. Good. Then I think we can wrap it up. It was a very interesting session. I'm really glad that Ayushi and Kavya accepted the invitation to the presentation. It was awesome. Thank you very much. Keep on posting dashboards on LinkedIn so we can admire the skills.
Nancy, don't forget don't forget to welcome our new German to the group.
Franz.
No,
Is he?
Guy.
Oh,
The new German.
I saw it because according to the name is Franz. But anyway, yeah,
Well,
Guy.
actually, do you want me to tell something about Franz?
Yes, please.
He's the second Nicaraguan in the group. I know.
Awesome! Wow, nice.
He's kind of shy.
With the German name. With the German name.
With the German name, German background. I have to say, we know each other for a long time.
Great.
Yeah, but he's been here in the European Union for a long time now. Yeah.
Great, great
Very
that you
clever.
joined us. Nice.
Very shy, but he's there.
Nice to know. Yeah, and I'm happy that Guys landed in Germany. So we are in one time zone, although 1,000 kilometers away, but same country.
Yes, at least there is something unified. There is the time zone at least.
He's closer. He's actually closer to Jonathan than to Magda.
Yes, exactly. So go ahead, Jonathan.
So I don't know if any of you that are left, I'll share it later back in the Slack channel, but I will arrange a data set and we'll have a little community challenge on visualization. Use any tool that's for visualizing, and we'll just have and then we'll get a little panel together. We can post it and share everything. So I'll get a data set and some ideas together, and we'll get a little integrated VizComp.
Jonathan, make a data set and make a case about it. That means clear requirement.
Yeah.
In this case, yes, if we are going to judge or to make a kind of evaluation to the work, it will be against the data set, against the case that we have. And by the way, there is one tool. It's old tool and the new tool, and it's still great. And it's integrated with many languages, MATLAB. So maybe if we work on pure MATLAB, it would be also great. It's not only for visualizing, but it's also have great visualizing.
Jonathan, just to keep with the spirit of our family, just throwing out an idea. That's all it is. Maybe get Ayushi and Kavya's and Donabelle's advice on, let's have a warm-up project that can be judged by our experts. We'll call them the three women experts. And then they can give feedback to the contestants and then have the true contest. That way we're focusing on development and then competition. Just a thought.
Yeah, no, great. Yeah, awesome.
Sounds good.
Yep.
What, you're shaking your head, Kavya?
What's the price? What's the price?
To come visit Ngozi.
Yep. And then just would also like to, if I can, those that are left, can I share? Yeah, awesome. So I'll get some ideas together, get some thoughts together in our Slack, but I also want to give a teaser to those that are left and those that are going to watch the replay. So I will, when I'm on the schedule, I will share with you all how you can make your own portfolio using GitHub and Visual Studio Code. So that will be coming up in a few weeks.
Nice.
Yes, exactly. It's exciting. And thank you for the initiative as well regarding the challenge. It is nice, really, really nice. And another teaser, because now we finish our session regarding our community members, and next week we will have a guest from the industry. So stay tuned and hope we will see you, and you are interested to see who the surprise person will be next time.
Yeah, you don't want to miss next week.
Yeah.
And announce it and get, attract people to come. You'll be really shocked and
spread it. Because it's really interesting.
Jonathan, Hugo's got some good advice for you on how to launch this competition. What you do is you get everything ready, and then the last minute you say, "Oh, Tom, could you fill in for me?"
And just to answer really quickly, Hugo's question, he asked, what's the prize? The prize is self-development and achievement, and having a learning experience. That's the prize.
No, I think we'll have to think of something nice for the prize.
I thought it was to visit Ngozi. I thought that.
I would love that, but seriously, we'll think something up. We'll think something up. Yeah.
We'll get something together.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Magdi and I will be working on your segment name, Ngozi.
That's all right. That's okay. I'm up for it.
Okay, good. Then I think we can wrap it up now, right?
Yeah.
It was a nice discussion.
Thank you.
Also, thank you for Ankur your question, which triggered more ideas and tips. I hope it was helpful. And yeah, as we said, be there next time. It will be an interesting discussion with someone.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Ayushi and Kavya.
Thank you so much.
very much.
Have a nice
Thank you so
weekend.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Take care.